Good afternoon, everybody. It is 5 o'clock on today, Wednesday, the 14th of May. So that means that we can formally begin this meeting of the Cabinet. The meeting is being broadcast live on YouTube. Are there any apologies for absence? Don't believe there are. There are no urgent matters. Matters to be considered in private. There, I believe, are some confidential appendices to reports today. So I will indulge myself in my usual request, please, that you not refer to those papers in the open part of the meeting. And if you wish to refer to those elements of the papers, that you indicate to me beforehand so that we can turn off the YouTube and clear from the gallery anybody who is not entitled to, unfortunately, access that information. Of course, we would really like to avoid having to do that. So if it's all possible, please try not to. Declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest? There are none. Minutes of the previous meeting. Are they agreed? Appointments to subcommittees and outside bodies. I don't believe there are any. So we'll go straight to Warm Homes Social Housing Fund grants. Councillor Brett.
Thank you, Chair. So this is an acceptance of a Warm Homes grant that we have been awarded. It's part of a wider kind of remit of different councils that are part of it. And we've been lucky enough to be awarded over 6 million, which will help us to kind of retrofit some of our homes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I've got questions from the opposition, and Councillor Gallant, as always, you're in the room, so you can go first.
Thank you very much, Chair. Obviously positive this grant, as it wasn't budgeted for, and noted that a partnership agreement with London Council's consortium set to be signed by the 30th of May. Just got 3 questions here. Do all participating councils have to have matched funding in place for the agreement to be signed? Of the £6.5 million grant, 320,000 is earmarked to meet London Council consortium administrative costs and £650,000 earmarked for Ealing administration. Now, in lay terms, is that not a lot of admin which could be spent on insulation? Final question, noted from the report that the supply chain is weak and a manager is not yet appointed. Could this potentially cause delay and non-drawdown, and would that result in a weaker case for future grants?
Yeah, Councillor Brett, do you want to respond?
Yeah, sure. Just on the first question, in terms of match funding, that's part of the government requirements. So, you know, all councils will be match funding, and it has been budgeted for, and that is been part of our budget to match fund that. So there's no issues in terms of that. In terms of the administration costs, that's actually very, very normal. And, you know, kind of at least 10–15% of most kind of large grants like this are there is some of that set aside for this kind of administration. It's going to be a massive kind of project, like running until 2028. So it absolutely needs to have the right people in place in terms of implementing that. And then on the third question, that there will be somebody that will be appointed, and it shouldn't cause any delays. Thank you.
Yeah, you know, and those, I think, two issues are interrelated, are they not? You want a manager to be able to contract manage. You want their ability to ensure that contracts are being awarded appropriately, that the money's being fairly spent, because of course we wouldn't want to be in a situation that it was, you know, mismanaged, would we? So I think that's probably the key point. Councillor Malcolm, did you have a question?
Thank you. Yeah, my questions have been answered in a very detailed response from the officer, so I have no need to ask my couple of questions, so thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any points or questions from members of the Cabinet? No? Okay, well, thank you very much. On that basis, if I could direct you to the recommendations in the report and ask that they're agreed. Thank you. We now move to WLA procurement, supported accommodation purchasing for young people aged 16 to 25 years old. And I believe, Councillor Donnelly, you're taking this paper.
Yes, thank you, Chair. As you know, the West London Alliance, of which we're part, has taken a particular interest in the support for looked after children and care leavers. And this project seeks to raise the bar in terms of the standards, quality of supported accommodation, both for looked after children and for care leavers, by awarding seeking to procure and award contracts which require adherence to the Care Labour Covenant and the Real Living Wage as a minimum. And so, as you can see, on behalf of a range of boroughs, which potentially will go beyond the boroughs within the West London Alliance over a period of time, we'll procure a framework, appoint suppliers, enter into agreements with other authorities, and award call-off contracts within the framework that we have selected. So I recommend it.
Thank you very much. Are there any points or questions from members of the Cabinet? I don't have any questions from the opposition. So on the basis of the recommendations in the report, are they agreed? Thank you. We move to item number 9, the creation of a regional park, the update paper. Councillor Hashani.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, hi everyone. Today I'm pleased to present the report on the regional park. This is an update. The last time we provided an update was in September 2023, where the concept of the regional park was adopted by Cabinet. But since then, there has been an enormous amount of work to drive forward this project. Including we've appointed Prior and Partners who have done a concept plan for us. There was a series of engagement activity with residents who were very supportive of the regional park. We opened Pear Tree Park in 2024. A Chief Programme Officer was appointed earlier this year, and we've also made some serious bids for funding for the regional park. And to wrap that up, today we are asking for you to approve that if we get these bids, that we can delegate accordingly, but also to look at the West Regional Park idea, where we're already speaking with across borough with colleagues in Brent and Hounslow, and we're asking you to approve those conversations as they move forward. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I do have questions from members of the opposition. So, Councillor Gallant.
Thank you, Chair. It's a very ambitious report, and I particularly like the long-term plan for a green bridge over the M40, like those bridges over the Canadian motorways. But shouldn't it start by addressing the most prosaic of problems, namely this disgraceful and illegal polluting of the River Brent? And shouldn't this be on page 1 rather than page 99 of the report? Forgive me if I've missed anything, but the word Lido appears not to have been mentioned in this report at all. Does that mean there are now no plans to build an outdoor swimming pool complex within the Ealing Regional or indeed West London Regional Park? If I could refer to paras 38 to 40 on pages 39 and 40, could I press you to provide a few more details of the planned West London Regional Park? And if it's to be a mix of local authorities and other actors, will there be a lead authority as per Gunnersbury Park, who will actually be representing the boroughs? And that links to grant applications. I note there's an application about to be made or that will be made to the Natures, Towns and Cities Fund. Was this for the Ealing Regional Park? Wouldn't you want to wait until the West London Regional Park has been constituted?
Councillor Hashani.
Thank you, Councillor Gallant. On the Lido, look, I know this is a recurring question, and I think the answer I've given previously stands. That we remained committed to the Lido, and that was approved as a project, but we're currently reviewing preferred locations in the context of the wider regional park plan. So that's where we stand, and we're still there today. We are continuously reviewing the locations for the Lido, and that will be brought forward when the time is right. On the West London Regional Park, so the conversations kind of happened organically. We started having conversations with the National Trust, conversations with neighbouring boroughs, and actually as part of this report, we're asking for approval to actually solidify those conversations into a more proper governance process. As I say, we've appointed a Chief Programme Officer earlier this year, and I think part of those conversations will be looking at whether the Programme Officer then serves the wider West London Regional Park, and therefore there will be funding available from across the boroughs to fund this position. So we are working very collaboratively, and as I say, these are conversations that are ongoing, but there's been a very positive start to that. And actually, there's been lots of buy-in across the boroughs. On the grant, we have applied for the Nature Towns and Cities Fund. It's a £1 million bid, which we have now succeeded to go to the next round. We've made a full application, which we're awaiting the response on. And that will fund a governance process that we'll look at. It'll be funding a proper business plan that we could put forward for the regional park. But as I say, if this is approved, we will be working with boroughs across West London and the National Trust, who all know and are aware of the grants and are all supportive of the grant. So hopefully that support will actually ensure that we get success. And may I say, there has been very positive comments also coming from, London more widely, the GLA very supportive of our plans. Fundamentally, this is a programme that's very ambitious, and it will serve West London, but also London more widely. And that's a very important thing to remember. Finally, on your comment about the River Brent, so there are teams already working in cleaning up aspects of the River Brent, and actually we work really closely with some of our volunteer groups as well. But it's something that we will look into more, and it's something that we will continue to aspire to have cleaner rivers across our borough. Thank you.
Yeah, Councillor Driscoll, perhaps you might want to come in on that issue.
Yeah, so issues to do with drainage and tackling the contamination of coming to my portfolio as well. So there was a significant meeting held with Thames Water, the Environment Agency, and supported by James Murray MP, and that covered a significant part of the catchment area of the Brent within Ealing. There was a whole suite of properties that were identified with misconnections. There is now literally less than a handful that have been need to be addressed, and that's through combined action through Thames Water and Ealing Council, and Ealing Council being more persistent about what Thames Water's duties and responsibilities are. So we've now been able to follow up with our work in terms of enforcement, but we're now left with literally less than a handful. So, but of course, we're downstream of Brent and other authorities, just the nature of where river flows and water flows. So we can honestly say that we've made massive steps in Ealing, but we're very much aware of what's coming further downstream. And Curb, who are the voluntary group working with this, have done significant amounts of work, and we're supporting their endeavours. So there's a whole suite of work that's already taken place and is in place to continue.
I think on the issue of governance as well, I think, one of the things that we're mindful of is that this is an Ealing initiative. We want to make it bigger, but we need to make it successful. And there are plenty of examples of park governance, whether that's the Lee Valley Regional Park or indeed, the Olympic Park over in Hackney and Stratford. They've been delivered in different ways using different governance structures. And our ambition is greater, and it appears, as Councillor Shani, you've said, that people are excited by this. But we need to get it off the ground, and we need to get it moving. So the report is very good in setting out sort of what those goals and ambitions are. Councillor Malcolm, did you have questions?
Yeah, I had a couple of questions. Thank you. On Warren Farm, it's referred to in paragraph 18. When will the full details of the sports facilities be confirmed or finalised? As currently, it looks like from the original plans, it could be cricket alone, football alone, or both. I just want to know when that will be finalised. And then on the health impact assessment from paragraph 2, I understand the work has been completed, but when in summer? Is it the end of summer, the beginning of summer, when the Regional Park Steering Group will have finalised this document, and will you publish it on the website so everyone can see it?
Councillor Shani.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, so on Warren Farm, Councillor Malcolm, as you know, we've gone out to market for the sports facilities, and that has now concluded, and we will be coming to Cabinet with a report in due course where we will share further details of the preferred bidder on that that selection. And I look forward to bringing that to you very soon. On the health impact report, so yes, thank you for that. Actually, the health impact report has been concluded, but we haven't yet published it, and we will look to publish it by the end of the summer. It will be fully published, and you will get a copy of the report as per. But yes, apologies, there was a slight complication in the report where we say that it was undertaken from September 2024 to 25, and at one point we do say we've already published it, but I'm afraid we haven't published it, but we will publish that in due course. But some of the work around that has already concluded. I hope that answers your question.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments or questions from members of the Cabinet? No. On that basis, thank you for this introduction, and I ask that you review the recommendations in the report and ask that they're agreed. So the Barn Hotel lease renewal, Councillor Brett.
Thank you, Chair. So this is a 1-year extension to the Barn Hotel, and this is part of our to support our B&B elimination programme. So it's quite straightforward, and it's just an extension of what we've already got. Thank you.
Yeah, and already got and already agreed to previous Cabinet meetings. I don't have any questions from members of the opposition. Are there any points or questions from members of the Cabinet? On that basis, can I ask that the recommendations are agreed? That concludes the business for today. I believe our next meeting is, it's not on my paper, but I'm sure 11th of June. Thank you very much, Councillor Backer. 11th of June, so we will see you then. Thank you.